Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. Sunshiny skies, a little bit chilly, but I think spring may be just starting to peak out around here in the mid-Michigan area. I know other points north in Michigan, not so lucky, especially the Lake Superior region around Marquette. I think those guys got an absolute pummeling back in my old adopted area from long, long ago. But down here, not too bad. It's going to get warmer and warmer and warmer. So spring is in the air. I think I can safely drain the gas out of the snowblower. I'm just cursing it, by the way. I just cursed us. So we'll go from there and see what happens. Hey, I hope your weekend is off to a great start. Lots of stuff to talk about today, including a scheduling update for next week. Hang on just a few seconds for that. We'll get to that because there's going to be a short closure next week, so we'll get into that in just a second or two. Record Store Day, no real big news on that front, and we'll talk about the podcast here coming up in a couple of seconds as well. But first, let us get some hellos in there and say hi to a few folks checking us out this morning. TKR, Video Central, TC on Boston's North Shore. Good morning, sir. Thank you for being here. Chuck as well. Good morning. Little sunshine in that emoji as well. Dan, good morning to you as well. Betty from Toledo. Sunny there. Good to hear. Sunny everywhere, hopefully. Pat, good morning. Vinyl lovers everywhere, indeed. And Mike. Mike checking in. Mike K, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being here as well. Well, that's all right. We've got some folks chiming in this morning. Always good to hear. I think I got going a little early. Maybe. I'll check. Well, we'll see right there. So, new vinyl in just a couple of seconds, as well as some news on the podcast side of things. But I want to pass along a scheduling announcement for those of you thinking of heading our way, or if you're trying to pick up some orders or see what's going on here. Next week, essentially the 12th through the 16th, our normal week hours, we will be closed. Radio Wasteland will be closed next week. I've got to take care of a few things, and therefore the store will not be open. So if you need to stop by, this weekend is the one to do it. Technically speaking, I'll be back on the 19th. So yeah, it's like a week and a half away. But so the store will be closed on Wednesday the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. So all of that week closed down. I'll put a note in the door. I'll put some reminders up on social media. There will probably, and I'll say probably, there probably will not be a live update next Saturday as well. But I will do the upcoming video today and the upcoming release video as well. There will be no interruption in the podcast either. We will keep those going with our good friend Steve Carlson. But the store, physical store itself, will be closed next week, the 12th of March through the 18th of March, although technically we're closed Monday and Tuesday anyway. So after Sunday, this Sunday the 9th, we will not be back open again until the 19th. Please make note of that. If you're coming or planning to stop in from out of town, don't do that next week. Just stay in contact with us and from there. So if you are looking to pick up an order, or you just want to come browsing, today, Saturday, March 8, and tomorrow, Sunday, March 9, are your days to do it. Please make notes of that, and we will take things from there. Let's see, a couple more quick good mornings to tell you about. Let's see here. Ryan saying, hey. Hey, Ryan. Good to hear from you and Rick over in the West Side as well, saying hello. So let's see there. That should take care of that. Nothing serious, by the way. I just need to get a few things taken care of. I think I mentioned, back in January when we were starting off the brand new year. It seems like forever ago already, and here we are in pretty much mid-March, getting there. I did mention to you guys that we would be taking a few weeks off here and there throughout 2025, and this is the second one of these, and there will be a couple of more. I've got a lot of obligations this summer that I need to tend to, but we're not going to let it affect you as much as possible, and I'll be as open as possible, letting you guys know, and as accommodating as possible. I know that here's the other big thing. I know the 14th is a big release date for a lot of you folks, and there's a lot of pre-orders hanging on that. If you can just be patient, We will get your stuff in the week after I've stopped our shipments. So all of that stuff should show up by the 20th, and we'll have it for the release day of the 21st. So anything that you were looking for coming out on the 14th or the 21st, we will have on the 21st. And if it gets in early and you got your name on it, it'll be held. No problem at all. Just ask for a little patience. Thank you very, very much. Let's see here. More chats. Let's get to more chats, and then we'll get to our other goodies here. Let's see. David saying good morning. Good morning to you, sir. I will drop a package your way Monday. We mentioned that, talked about that. Let's see. Boot Traders Vinyl Visits. Hello from Fort Worth, Brian. Wow, Texas checking in there. And Australia, Robert from Melbourne, Australia. Good to have you here as well. Ivan Music Man asking if we've sold any Lady Gaga records. The answer to that would be no, because we didn't get any Lady Gaga records. Those got delayed. It's usually the case. I don't know what the deal is, but we did not get any of those. If you're looking for one, I'll have a couple coming with the next shipment we get. But as I just mentioned, that will not be until the 20th and 21st of this month. But I will have a couple of those. I think one's already pre-ordered and spoken for. But if you need one, let us know. And Ryan, he needs to feed that vinyl addiction. I do. Yeah, I understand, man. We'll go from there. Grand Rapids, Fred checking in. Hey there, sir. He's got a late arrival saying, hey. All right, so let's talk about vinyl this week. And I'll tell you what, it was a big release day yesterday as well. So I am out. Let me look at my notes here. The big one yesterday that everybody seemed to want, aside from Noah Khan, which I'll get to, was the Jason Isbell. The brand new Jason Isbell came out. It was called Foxes in the Snow, and there was a gold vinyl version. I had a few of those. Those went so quickly that... that's why I stress pre-orders. If you folks know that this stuff's coming, you watch our pre-order show, let me know and we'll get a hold of them. But yeah, I ran out of the Jason Isbell early. I've got more coming next week, but here's the catch. The gold vinyl indie exclusives that I had coming are already spoken for. So I'm going to try to get more, but for the most part, anything else above that and beyond coming next week will be the black vinyl version. Same thing with the Noah Khan. Let's see here. This is probably one of the 30 or so spam calls that I got the past few days. The Noah Khan live from Fenway Park. That was another big one yesterday as well. The indie exclusives gone almost instantly. I had a couple of pre-orders on those, so those left. And I still have one copy of the black vinyl version of this double LP from Noah Khan live at Fenway Park. Big one. Lots of folks excited about this. I will try to get a hold of more of the indie exclusive colored vinyl versions, but I think that those are going to be a tough get. So I will get more of the black vinyl version for sure. If you just want the music, grab this one, and I'll have more when we get back on the 20th and 21st. But if you want the colored vinyl version, I can still try it, but I don't have any guarantees going in on that. Another big release yesterday. I've got one of these left. And this is a brand new Bob Mould. It's called Here We Go Crazy. This is a great album. If you're a fan of Bob Mould's solo stuff, maybe Sugar or Husker Du, this thing rocks. It's up there. One was open for quality control purposes. I'll admit that. And the vinyl, this is called a black and white and blue smush vinyl. I will show the vinyl off on our podcast because this is one of my recent ads that we'll be talking about with Steve tomorrow on, our podcast. So I'll show the vinyl color off tomorrow. In fact, that's the subject of the podcast tomorrow with Steve, is colored vinyl. We'll talk about that, some of the cool ones, and whether or not it affects the listening experience or quality. But one copy of the Bob Mould left on the colored vinyl. When this is gone, I'm going to try to get a couple more in the store. But again, like the colored vinyl stuff tends to go fairly quickly. But give this a listen online, and we'll talk about it a lot more tomorrow on the podcast. Other new stuff. Cody Jinks put out one. This is an interesting one for those of us in the Tri-City area because it's on here, folks. This is Cody Jinks Sings Lefty Frizzell. And this is pretty much a tribute album. If you look close, this is actually kind of cool. It made it look like an old beat up album from the dollar bin, but those are not cornerware. It's actual real vinyl on here. So yeah, Cody Jinks, if you've got the money, I've got the time. My rough and rowdy ways. Always late. She's gone. Long black veil. Never go around mirrors. Sick, sober, and sorry. And of course, Saginaw, Michigan is on here. So if you want to hear the Cody Jinks version of the Lefty Frizzells, we got one copy of this. I think this is on colored vinyl, but I don't remember offhand. as well. Should be able to get more of these down the line if and you need one. But I've not listened to this online to see how good of a cover it is, but I will get around to that. Other notables from yesterday's release, one copy left of the David Bowie Young Americans picture disc. I'm glad they centered the hole correctly on this one. I believe this was a half-speed master, if I recall. But yeah, it's the full album on picture disc of Bowie's Young Americans. It's an anniversary edition of that. Other ones, let's see. We got an opaque red vinyl version left. 350 copies of this made of the the Bullet Boys, I'm sorry, of their Acid Monkey. This is a reissue. What a cool cover. There we go. That's my thumbnail for that. How's that? Recents, I got more Motorhead in, but that's all gone except for a couple more copies of Ace of Spades. I do have this left. Late arrival. This was a few weeks ago, but I finally did get a copy in of Soul Coughing's Ruby Vroom. This one it's got Screenwriter Blues, which is cool. Clear vinyl and 3 previously unreleased songs. So one copy of that left in for the weekend. And there was a brand new Vapors album out. Yes, a brand new Vapors album out. I didn't get any, but we got a copy of their big one, Nuclear Days. This is a split colored vinyl, black and yellow split colored vinyl. So this has got, of course, Turning Japanese on here, as well as some other cool Vapors 80s synth pop punk-ish stuff. We'll call it that. So if there's something you need or something you need to be replenished, please let me know. We'll try to get it when we get back from our short break on the 19th and 20th. We'll talk about that in there. And as I mentioned, the podcast with our good friend Steve Carlson, we have got that coming up still on Sunday evenings, about 7 o'clock. This week's episode, we'll talk about colored vinyl, but more importantly, and I don't have the graphic on this, last week on the podcast, Steve and I started a vinyl madness in March. I don't want to infringe on a March Madness trademark and get sued by the NCAA or anything like that. But yeah, we started our very own bracket talking about essential albums. I picked 8 albums. Steve picked 8 albums, and then we drew randomly to see where they would go in our brackets. And this week, we're going to narrow that down to 8 albums. If you want to check that out, look for the podcast. It's on our YouTube channel. It is on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all the places you'd find a podcast as well. And on the description on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page for that and others, you will find a link to vote on those, because that's where these albums, that's where it's going from. The 16 we picked, it's up to you guys to decide who goes forward in this tournament of champions, so to speak. Lots of folks responding, but we could still use more, especially with a couple of my albums. Man, some of mine are taking a bath on there, so we'll see what happens. And if you tune into the podcast tomorrow night, we'll tell you who moved forward and where things go with that. And we're going to keep this going throughout the whole month of March until we get down to the most 2 essential albums that should be in your collection. That is on our Two Guys Talking About Records podcast. You can check that out every Sunday evening. And again, please, you got one more day. Tomorrow morning, we're going to cut off the voting when we record. So you got a chance to get in there and vote for mine. Vote for my stuff. I'm kidding. We'll get away from there. Okay, let's see. Just a couple more from the YouTube chat, and we'll call it a morning here. Oh, let's see here. Lindsay asking if we have any St. Patrick's Day or Celtic music available. Yes, but since we're not going to be open on St. Patrick's Day, I haven't put it out or put it in a drop. In fact, I had somebody come through and raid our Irish music just, I think, the day before yesterday. Bought like 6 or 7 of them. So I have a very sparse amount of Irish music left. Celtic music-wise, same thing in there. I think I've new vinyl. I think we've got an album from Celtic Woman in through there, and a Celtic Thunder there's one floating around here somewhere as well. So there's a few. If you stop by today or tomorrow, Lindsay, we can take care of that. Steve, good morning from South Daytona. 67 degrees down there. Partly cloudy. Well, you get some sunshine, you guys down there. Those chats. Hopefully, Steve, you're talking about the podcast chats. I'm hoping that we have that. And Lindsay saying, can't wait for the podcast. It is a good time. Thank you. And please check that out. And like I said, if you get a chance, make sure you get your votes in on that, on the sweet end 16 of those left in our bracket. And we'll see where it goes. I knew last I looked, my treasured Rush Permanent Waves was not faring well against Pink Floyd. So we'll see. And I love them both, so I don't know where it's going to go from there. I voted for my Rush, but that's that. We'll see where it happens tomorrow on our podcast. All right, folks, I am going to wrap things up. It is time to get the store opened up. The lava lamps are, well, they're percolating slowly, but they're getting up there. I'll get the turntable spinning. Please don't forget that the store itself will be closed all of next week, but I will be open today, Saturday, from now until 6 p.m. and tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 noon until 4 p.m. Closed Monday and Tuesday, and then closed all of next week. I'll put up reminders. Please don't work your way here then. We will be open again on the 19th, and if I get a chance to do a live next Saturday, I will. If not, I'll put up a post letting you know what's going on from there. But regardless, we will talk to you all next time from Radio Wasteland Records. Up late chatter coming in there. Steve saying top of the morning. And Matt from Chicago. Thank you for checking in, sir. All right, folks, you have a great couple of weeks, and we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records. Don't forget, check out that podcast, and make sure you're subscribed, hit like, do all that stuff on our YouTube channel, please. Much appreciated. Have a great one, and we will talk to you all next time from the Wasteland.